Hello Galactic family. We have spoken more than a few times explaining who we are. Some prefer to have names attached to this sort of message. We understand that. But you have been reading our messages for a few years now as being from the Council. Why is that? First, let us say that many who sit on this council either do not have names and have no need of them. Then there is also the fact that even upon your planet the beings sitting on this council are known by many names in many languages. You are not used to thinking in such terms, but it is true nevertheless. And even beyond that, you gave these names to us when you thought you were the center of a universe that you had no idea of the extent of. Now, when you are aware that a limitless universe is teeming with life, do you imagine that those names remain the same everywhere? Of course, we will answer to them. But we wish to cause you to ponder larger concepts. And so, when our channel began referring to us as the Council, we considered it appropriate. That is the who in the title above. Now, as to the what in the title. What is this council? You know of many councils. Indeed, there are many. Some oversee star systems. Some oversee galaxies. And you really cannot fathom the scope of multi-dimensional multiverses. In the case of this council, we are defined by our purpose. Thus, this answer will also answer the why. As each entity dispatches a part of itself into a physical lifetime, it is known by us, and by the birthing one, that certain traits, skills, etc. will be needed to accomplish the goals of the entity, and they are included in its makeup. But the memory that it holds in the non-physical, if it will interfere with the living of the life as planned, will be veiled from the new life's recall. This is not always necessary. You may even know people who have quite a bit of recall of things beyond, or above, or however you think of it. We would say that, for them, it is consistent with their life purpose. But we also know that living a lifetime in a body is not exactly an easy undertaking. Even when one is not in body, one has access to guidance and teaching. How could it be denied to you there? And so our purpose is to provide all of the information and guidance that each is able to accept when it is needed. How is this accomplished? The most common way is to meet with you during your sleep cycles. We are able to have dialogue with many during their meditations. And some hear us more often than that. There is no one that cannot develop themselves to this level, but we use whatever you need us to use. If you need us to speak with you during sleep, you will still get what you need. We give information and guidance. We do not make your decisions for you. So you are quite free to make mistakes, as you would say. We would say that you never do. You just have experiences that you may wish to eliminate from your repertoire. If you knew how to live without such experiences, your greater self might not have needed to send you on this adventure. That brings us back to the question of who is on this council. You see, you are on this council. At least your own greater self, who may have thousands of such experiences in its being, is sitting here. Are your guides here? Absolutely yes. Are your other selves here? Yes. Angels? Yes. Master teachers? Yes. Higher beings, the existence of whom you as yet have no concept? Yes. Basically, what we are saying is that, if you have need to know something, the appropriate knowledge will be provided to you. This council convened before you were born. That, of course, is how you would perceive it with your linearly oriented minds. But we see the necessity of using such ideas in order to communicate certain concepts. We said convene in each moment of your lifetime. You are the purpose of our gathering, after all. and your non-physical selves are never absent from this council for that very reason. We will not ever be unavailable in the moment that you need us. Now, this is true for all physical beings, so there is no reason to shop for a larger hat size. The real issue is almost always that it takes a lifetime to get most of you to understand how very precious your divine selves are, even when we state it plainly. You have been convinced otherwise for so long that your minds just will not accept it. So the answer to when is always tempered that not by whether or not we are here to answer your need, but by whether you listen and whether you accept. That is why the phrase "those with ears to hear" came to be. Also, however, you were told that you could not hear or understand, and you accepted that. Your reality always reflects your beliefs, so throw that one out. We come now to where? Is it on a certain planet? Is it on a spacecraft? What does it look like? When you visit us in your dreaming times or in your meditations, you are actually joining an energetic event. It is not in a place. So when you return to your ordinary conscious awareness, you will remember, if you remember, a setting that your own mind can align with. If you bring back a memory, it will contain the fact of a meeting being held. You may remember that you were given guidance. You may remember a hall, an amphitheater, a room, a stadium, or even a spaceship. The picture is not important. Even remembering is not important, really. You do this almost every day and night. How many times do you remember it? Now this does not seem as if it would be unimportant. But understand that you have received the answers you needed and made your decision. If you are aligned with your own purpose, you will make the best decision. If you are not, you will learn, and therefore your wrong decision will be the best one for you. Your name for that is the School of Hard Knocks. We will speak to how for a moment. Every single one of you can and does get the message. Some of you are sensitive enough to see. Some of you can hear. Some of you can feel us sending you energy. But even when all of those things are not available, we use circumstance, synchronicity, and more. So, even though you may aspire to some of the above, rest assured that we do get through to those of you who ask and intend to receive an answer. Now, let us talk a little more about the why, if we may. What is our agenda, our purpose? You will have noticed, if you have followed us for a little time, that we are always speaking of your divine nature. We always speak about the power that you hold and haven't learned to use. We always talk of the raising of your consciousness that is now in progress. That is our purpose in this now. That is our agenda. You have taken on a task of monumental proportions. A short while ago, the odds were really not very much in your favor. And yet you continued, over and over again, to actually raise the bar, as you would say. And you have accomplished what you have done with far less mayhem and loss of life than was foreseen. You will probably be back on this side before you truly see the amazing extent of what you have been able to do. In your terms, you are the boots on the ground and we are the logistical command. But we also have assumed the roles of cheerleaders and pet rally organizers. So now we have addressed all of the W questions. We do this from time to time and will probably do so again. As always, our goal in doing so at this time is to stress, once again, how very important each of you are, and to tell you that you are never, ever alone. One more small item. We are closer than your thoughts, but we cannot act without your asking. So, in full knowing of that truth, ask. Ask aloud if you can. Have conversations with us. For many of you, they may seem to be one-way conversations. But be assured they are not. Be alert for answers in many forms. Good day.